Hey, everyone. Hey, hackers. You're welcome. Today is the last day of HackCanton Season 1, and I'm really glad you're here for this one. Quick update on where we stand. 53 teams started this journey. You should be proud you made it to the finish line. 13 projects already submitted for judging. Yoo-hoo. 13 more teams are in very active stage right now. We are waiting for you. Please submit. A few important things before we hand over to our speaker. You have 13 hours left. And yes, 13 projects submitted, 13 active teams, 13 hours to go. Seems like 13 is today's number. Make it count. Here's what you can still do. Burn your mana. Go to your dashboard, hit daily claim, then fulfill daily mana burn. The platform will handle the rest. Don't close the tab while it's running. Fill in your documents. 6 stages: problem, ICP, validation, GTM, MVP, and pitch. Judge see everything. Submit for judging. Once you hit the button, your project is locked for editing. If you need to make change after submitting, write to us in the chat and we'll roll it back. Officially, deadline is midnight between May 6 and 7 UTC. In 4 hours at 3 p.m. UTC, we have the closing ceremony. Join us for important updates of judging, what comes next, and everything in Season 1. Don't miss it. Also, Canton Loop Wallet invites are on their way. We've sent all participant emails to 5 North. You'll be receiving your Canton Loop Wallet invite. Keep an eye on your inbox. One more thing, post about your project on X. If you tweet about that you've built, tag us and we will amplify it from our side. The more noises, the better for your project. Judges notice visibility too. And one more small ask, fill out our feedback survey if you haven't yet. It takes under 10 minutes and directly shapes Season 2. Every answer gets read. Now, today's session. Ken is workshop host at Modo. Modo is the intelligence layer of Canton. It gives builders a clear view of what's happening across the network. Explorer data, entities, apps, activity, validators, and real-time ecosystem context. If you're building on Canton and want to understand what's actually going under the hood, this session is for you. Ken, the stage is yours.
Thank you for the introduction, Alice. And hey, everyone, thanks for joining. Today, we're going to walk through Modo and how it approaches one of the biggest problems on Canton. On Canton, one of the biggest problems is not getting access to data, but actually understanding it and using it effectively. A lot of blockchain tooling today stops at visibility. You can inspect transactions, you can query endpoints, but actually turning network activity into something useful for applications, workflow, analytics, or automation is still extremely fragmented. So today, we'll go through why Canton is different, why data is harder to work with, what Modo is building, and how the different parts of the system fit together. We will also look at the Explorer, APIs, agentic execution, and some of the upcoming infrastructure Modo is building around that data intelligence. The important thing to understand is Modo is not just an explorer. It's an end-to-end toolkit for working with data on Canton. One of the things we hear constantly from developers is building application itself usually isn't the hardest part. Understanding what's happening on chain is. And that problem becomes much bigger when you're dealing with systems where data is fragmented, activity is distributed, entities are hard to identify, and there isn't a clean, unified source of truth. So you end up spending huge amount of time indexing data, interpreting raw activity, and stitching together multiple tools just to get operational visibility. And even after doing all that work, you still pretty often lack context. You can see activity, but you actually necessarily don't understand it much. Who is involved, how entities relate to each other, or what the activity actually means. So that's the real core problem Modo is solving, where it's not just exposing data, but making it understandable, structured, and usable in practice. So Canton works differently from most traditional blockchain environments. A lot of developers are used to ecosystems where there is effectively a single global state and broad visibility across activity. Canton is different though. Data is distributed, yeah. Visibility is permissioned, and activity exists across contracts, updates, events, and multiple interacting entities. That creates much more realistic infrastructure model for financial systems and enterprise environments, but it also makes understanding a network significantly harder. You can just look at raw transactions and immediately understand what's happening. You need structure, interpretation, entity relationships, and tooling that can organize all of this into something useful. So this is the gap that Modo is trying to fill. What's really missing today is a layer of understanding, not necessarily more data or not necessarily more disconnected tools. What's missing is a system that can structure activity, interpret relationship, connecting entities, and create a constant understanding of the network. Because most workflows are fragmented. You explore activity in one place, you query data somewhere else, you build logic separately, and execution often becomes another layer entirely. So developers spend a huge amount of time building infrastructure around infrastructure. Modo just approaches this way differently. Instead of focusing a single product category, it creates a connected one system, understanding and operating on Canton. So after all this talk, what Modo is. So what actually Modo is, the simplest way to think about, Modo is a toolkit for working with data on Canton. It allows developers to explore network activity, understand user behavior, access structured data, and execute logic directly from that data. Normally, to do these, you will need an explorer, indexing infrastructure, APIs, analytic layers, execution tooling, all that, all stitched together separately. Modo brings all these layers that I just mentioned, all come together. That's really the key idea behind Modo. It's not just visibility, it's about moving from understanding to usage to execution inside a single workflow. So one thing team emphasizes, Modo shouldn't be viewed as a single product. Modo isn't just an explorer. A lot of people initially discover Modo through the Explorer, but the Explorer is really just one part of a larger system. The platform is designed as a connected toolkit that includes Explorer infrastructure, APIs, agentic execution, which we're going to come back to it in a second, and the newly released Meta Hub. And the most important thing is these products are designed to work all together. Normally, developers spend a lot of time moving between different tools and layers. One product for visibility, another for querying, another execution, another for analytics, workflow automation. In Modo, Modo is just trying to collapse all these layers into one. So instead of stitching infrastructure manually, developers can just focus on building the application itself so that Modo can be the part that creates the glue together. So this is where most developers feel like first interact. It's the Modo Explorer. But most important distinction is Modo Explorer is not designed as a traditional transaction viewer like any of those in the other chains. It's designed around understanding the network. So instead of only exposing raw activity, the Explorer focuses on entities, historical behavior, analytics, and ecosystem context. You can search across the network, inspect entities, follow activity patterns, and understand how different parts of the ecosystem connect all together. That includes parties, applications, validators, projects, tokens, contracts, you name it. And this becomes especially valuable on Canton because understanding context is much harder than in traditional blockchain systems. The Explorer helps transform raw activity, something developers can actually reason about it and build with it. There is also a private side of Modo Explorer designed more for enterprises and corporations. That environment mostly focuses more on internal analytics, entity management, permissions, and organizational workflows. So there is both public network intelligence and more private operational layer. Another thing, once you understand the network, the next challenge is actually using that data inside the applications. And this is where developers normally start building custom infrastructure. Things like indexing systems, parsers, transformation layers, analytic pipelines. With Modo API, what we are trying to is remove all that complexity. Instead of spending time building the data infrastructure from scratch, developers just get access to structured data directly through the API layer that includes historical data, portfolio tracking, real-time updates, and entity-level information. And importantly, this isn't just a data API. It's designed as broader operational layer, so developers can just move from reading data to building logic to triggering execution. The platform also includes interactive documentation, monitoring, debugging, and fast onboarding, so the experience feels much closer to modern developer infrastructure tooling than traditional blockchain tooling. So next focus that's like very big when it comes to uh, agentic APIs. This is probably one of the most interesting parts of the platform. Most blockchain APIs stop at data access. Agentic APIs goes a step further than that. Instead of only acquiring information, developers can actually execute logic and automate actions. So rather than building large amounts of backend orchestration yourself, you define workflows and execution logic directly through the system, which includes things like programmable payments, transaction execution, recurring workflows, multi-call operation, DVP flows, transfers, and agent-driven automation. The important idea here is you define the logic, the system handles the execution part, and it follows a secure prepare, sign, execute flow. One example the team discussed was accounting style workflows for organizations. So instead of manually coordinating operational flows across multiple systems, execution can become API driven and automated. This is where Modo starts becoming more than a data platform. It becomes operational infrastructure. So as you can see here, we have CIP 56 payments, DVP execution, CC transfer, payroll, multi-call, and all of these. At this point, instead of just talking about conceptually, let's quickly look at how agentic API actually works in practice. Oh, sorry, little presentation mistake. My bad. So I was just during the video, I was just going through the chat and I see some discount questions, and I think you guys would be happy just like stay till the end of it, and we will have some stuff that you can drop your questions or ask whatever you want to ask, and maybe there's like a QR code in the next couple pages. Let's see how that goes. So we just have shown you everything Modo is capable of, and what I'm going to show you is something Modo just rolled out, which solves one of the hardest problems in blockchain infrastructure, which is context. MetaHub. This is what I'm showing. Most systems expose raw activity, but very few systems help you interpret it. You can see addresses, you can transfer, you can see contracts, but understanding who entities are, how they are related, what organizations are involved, and what activity actually means is still incredibly difficult. That's where MetaHub comes in. MetaHub acts as a data intelligence layer for Modo. It combines on-chain data, off-chain metadata, entity relationships, labels, organizational contacts, project associations, and ecosystem mapping. So instead of raw blockchain activity, developers get meaningful context. The platform continuously aggregates and updates information across companies, validators, projects, contracts, applications, and related entities. And importantly, this isn't just static labeling. Modo positions MetaHub more like a continuously evolving intelligence layer. There is also a submission layer where companies and ecosystem participants can contribute metadata and improve visibility. So over time, the system becomes richer, more connected, and more useful. This is one of the biggest differentiators for Modo, not just exposing data, but making the network understandable. And any questions about MetaHub, which is just freshly released, please make sure stay and we'll have like a form that you can drop your questions, and our like technical team will help you go through with them. So basically, to cut it short, why Modo is different. When you step back and look at the full picture, the main difference is this. Most tools solve one part of the workflow. One tool helps you inspect data, another helps you query it, another helps you automate actions. Modo is trying to unify all those layers. So instead of moving between disconnected systems, developers can understand activity, access structured data, execute logic, and build applications inside one connected environment. And as Canton grows, that becomes increasingly important because the complexity of network will continue increasing, which means understanding structure, and operational tooling become just as important as raw access to data. If you want to start exploring Modo, you can just scan the QR code on the screen here. I'll just move my mouse a little bit and get access to Modo Pro for free. So the discount question is right answered here. Just use code HackCC 2026. I'll keep it a little bit longer on the screen in case anyone wants to scan it. And yeah, now to wrap everything up in one glue, just like our Modo infrastructure, how it glues everything into one place. Modo is building infrastructure on one just core idea, making Canton easier to understand and easier to build on, which we mentioned that includes Explorer infrastructure, APIs, agentic execution, newly released MetaHub, enterprise tooling, and upcoming products like Modo Wallet and Modo AI. And the important thing is, all these systems are designed to work together. So if you are building on Canton, or planning to at least, this is definitely a platform worth exploring. You can explore the product, try the APIs, test the tooling, and start building with real data basically just now, right after the stream ends. If you have any further questions, you can scan the QR code on this screen right here. And our team will get back to you, especially for those detailed technical questions. We're happy to help you with the onboarding and anything else that comes with it. So that's the end of my side of the workshop, guys.
All right, Ken. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have a few questions from the chat. Uh, Probably you can cover them. The first is I'll get from the end. The first
Okay.
is I'll show it. Yeah, from MetaHub. How do you guys resolve entity identity across parties, validators, apps, and off-chain sources without creating false links?
So when it comes to MetaHub, uh, basically the release was just happened in very recently. So when it comes to also like creating false links or the question in itself, I would happy to help, but I don't want to defer and like give you like a concrete answer. Then it when you try it, doesn't show up like that. I would like strongly urge you to scan the QR code so you can get like a very technical answer when it comes to help with onboarding or if it's very feasible or uh, basically if it's what you're looking for.
All right. I just want to mention if you have some follow-up questions, guys, write them to our private chat, so we'll find out to cover it. So that's no problem. All right. So a few more questions to you. Yeah, use cases. That's a lovely part. Are there any demos of working projects using the model?
So when it comes to that, again, like I am basically trying to do the workshop parts of everything, and internal stuff still stays within the team. And are there any demos when it comes to working project using Modo? Uh, I don't think I can disclose. So yeah,
Oh,
basically, sorry to disappoint.
no, that's fine. I think after our hackathon, we're gonna find some use cases of using Modo, and yeah,
Probably, yeah, that's what I would
yeah,
imagine as well.
just add into your portfolio with more projects. All right, and yeah, we have a few questions, like the same one.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, I think I just got a update on one of the questions, which is I think this is for MetaHub. Our founder said we use off-chain and on-chain metadata collection. I think that's probably the answer you're looking for. And everything else is also covered in our docs. Our docs are pretty comprehensive, and especially we're trying to be like agentic and AI oriented. I'm pretty sure even your AI agents, which everyone has nowadays, can easily also work through the docs as well. But basically, our docs is like the guidebook that can like clear any questions. But if there is anything that comes up, more technical, more detailed, like we're always welcome to drop them into that QR code at the end of the presentation.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, two more, and yeah, we can end with this. Yeah, we have the same question from two separate users, two separate hackers. When roadmap?
Well, if you're asking me personally, roadmap is something I think that always is flexible. And that's my personal answer as John. I'm not saying this as that comes from Moto. So when roadmap, personally, we'll see. You gotta tune in to these maybe workshops. Probably workshops are a bit more intellectual, like education purposes. So I would say probably tune in the socials or Discord. That will give you some idea, even though if it's not the word like roadmap you're looking for, it could be hints and what follows with it. So I'm just gonna leave it at there.
Yeah, it's too hard to plan in something in this AI era when you just need to pivot every day to do something.
Exactly. I mean, like
Yeah.
some of the stuff you might like because the AI works so fast in terms of like execution. you might need some other tools that just comes up that you might like you have to build, or you might have to give up some of the stuff and replace them into something more advanced, like for example agentic payments. I mean, in generally speaking, these stuff didn't even exist that much like 6 months ago or like 8 months ago, and now just Google signed like a big Anthropic Google signed with like a bunch of stuff recently. So I think yeah, roadmaps are at this age especially is something that it needs to be like very flexible and just like a living thing, just like the AI.
Yeah, but in you have it's on a slide 14 probably in the previous slide. So it's what's
Yeah.
coming next. Yeah, like a wallet, Explorer, right?
Yeah. We wanted to. I don't think.
No,
Wait,
so
let me
just
see.
2 slides ago. Okay.
Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, but I can answer that. I'm not sure which slide that was in, because I think I was also just making it relevant and just like going sneaking a bit more details from my side and my perspective to it as well. But with Modo AI and Wallet, I mean, I wanted to put it there in as like a like just way of showing things to people that join, but I don't think it's that. Let me. I don't want to call it like alpha, but it's something that is in progress that we don't have much to share at the moment to the public. It's something that we're working on the back end basically, which obviously once there's an update and everything or a release, you will hear it, trust me.
Yeah, sure. You have a perfect marketing team. Yeah, to show the visibility of your products. Yeah, okay. The last question, I think. Can you teaser, please? What's the long-term vision of Modo within the Canton ecosystem? From Cryptos Shavon,
Oh,
Crypto Shavon.
what's the long-term vision of Modo within the Canton ecosystem? I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm quoting back to my slides, so I'm just gonna basically give it like a rough comment on this. And the long-term vision is basically what we're trying to do here. I think in any like I'm looking from the perspective of developers, right? You have like bunch of tools, like I'm not even gonna say like subscription or anything else, a bunch of tools scattered like everywhere, and there is like an infrastructure problem on almost any chain when it comes to it. Like you gotta get, I don't know, it's not gonna sound relevant, like you gotta get RPC in one place, like swap API or whatever in another place, and then from other place you gotta get the code side of things, like all this noise. Like what Modo is trying to do in its own way to tie and glue everything to each other, so that when developer enters in Canton, they can immediately start doing things, especially the things that within our field, the field that we focus on Modo, and we want to have like the ability to give that whole suitcase of content in just one go. So I guess to sum it up, the long-term vision is we want to be the one-stop shop, one-stop place that developers can come within our field and execute and like basically resolve their needs.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. Yeah, I think we'll stop the Q&A section right now. I think this material is exactly the kind of practical context that makes a real difference when you're building on Canton. So can really appreciate you making the time today. The recording of this video will be available. We'll drop the link in the group. Also, we'll drop again the promo code to use in Modo. And yeah, if you have some questions regarding the technical side, so just drop in the private chat, and we will redirect it
Right
to
here.
Yeah. Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. So, all right, Ken, thank you so much one more time.
Thank you so much, man. You've been a great host, and thank you to the audience as well for coming here and supporting us, and we are very happy to support them in their HackCanton endeavors and more to come. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support from the Mondo side. All right, see ya. Okay, before you go, guys, yeah, a lot of you here today. Before you go, less than 13 hours left. Here's your checklist, what to do right now. So first, burn your mana. Daily claim, fulfill daily mana burn. All right. The next one, fill in all 6 documents. The third, hit submit for judging. Deadline at midnight between 6 and 7 of May. Join the closing ceremony in 3.5 hours, probably, yeah, at 3 p.m. UTC today. And please fill out the survey. We are rooting for every single one of you. See you at the ceremony, and may the block be with you. Bye and see ya.